Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, is about a doctor and his acquaintance investigating a toy company who makes Halloween masks, but there's something sinister about them. They also have an ad with a really annoying song that plays constantly. It starts off with a pumpkin that's trying to give the audience a seizure. Then it goes to October 23rd in Northern California, with this guy doing a terrible job at hiding from whoever's in this car. And he gets caught. Then this guy, I guess, chokes him, so he pulls a stop off a car wheel, and the car goes like 2 miles an hour towards this guy and crushes him. He couldn't have gotten out of the way, and car guy runs off. An hour later, there's a news story about a missing piece of Stonehenge that won't be used later, and this annoying ad comes on.
4 days to Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. 4 days to Halloween, Silver Shamrock.
They play the song constantly in this. It's about some damn mask that they want kids to buy and some special giveaway for it. Then the car guy from earlier attacks this poor guy and passes out. This is Dr. Daniel Chalice and his ex-wife and kids. And while this annoying ad plays, he gets called in, and oh look, it's the car guy. He sees the annoying mask ad and freaks out.
They're going to kill us.
If it would get them to stop playing this ad, it would be worth it. Well, Daniel has to stay at the hospital, so he tells his ex-wife that he can't pick up the kids, and she gets pissed and starts yelling at him. That night, Michael Myers here sneaks into the car guy's room and breaks his skull. Okay. Well, he gets caught, so he shuts himself in the car, pours gasoline on himself, and blows it up, because that's a reasonable response. The next day, car guy's daughter, Ellie, comes to identify the body. Then 3 days later, Daniel asks a forensic analyst to look into the killing herself, because I guess now it's bothering him. Anyway, 2 days later, he's at a bar, and I guess Halloween is just a movie in this universe. Then this stupid ad comes on again.
Come on.
Well, at least they went almost 10 minutes without playing this annoying song. Then Ellie shows up and Daniel tells her everything. So they go to the store Ellie's dad owned to look for clues.
October 20th. Pick up more masks.
Wait, this movie started on October 23rd. Assuming Silver Shamrock held him at the factory on the 20th and were planning to kill him, why didn't they kill him when they had him captured for 3 days? Whatever, this doctor and whatever Ellie does decide to investigate the Silver Shamrock factory. So Daniel calls and pisses his ex-wife off again, and leaves.
4 days to Halloween, Halloween, Halloween.
This goddamn ad. Anyway, they get into the creepy town and get a room at the hotel, and Daniel notices the car guy checked in on the 20th. So they spend the night, yeah. Remember, they're here to investigate her father's murder. What the hell? By the way, this town has a 6 o'clock curfew. Daniel is out past curfew buying booze, even though I don't know why a store would be open past curfew, but okay, and runs into this guy who starts talking crap about the factory owner, Colonel Cochran. Later that night, Cochran's goons find him and rip his head off in a very fake way. Back to the motel, Ellie runs into this lady who shows her that the tag to her mask fell off. In her room, she notices the tag has a chip in the back, so she starts messing with it, and holy sh**! I don't think kids should be wearing these masks. Then Silver Shamrock calls her away. The next day, Daniel calls his forensic friend, and she says she can't find any body parts in the car that blew up, so he asks her to investigate Colonel Cochran. Then he and Ellie go to the mask factory. The lady there tells Ellie she doesn't know where her father went after picking up the mask, so she just accepts this and is about to leave, but then they run into this family and now they're gonna have a tour of the factory, because I guess a factory that is doing sketchy stuff is just gonna give a group of strangers a tour. So they get their tour and this kid gets a mask that went through final processing.
Hey, Mr. Cochran, just what is the final process?
It's a couple of trade secrets.
Because that doesn't sound suspicious at all. After the tour, Ellie and Daniel is about to leave, but Ellie sees her father's car and this idiot tries to run up to it, but gets stopped by the creepy guard guys. Then that night they're at the hotel and Daniel goes to call the police for something.
1 more day to Halloween.
For f***'s sake. But he doesn't get a hold of anyone and now Ellie is missing, and there's more creepy guards, so Daniel goes out the window and sneaks back into the factory. Inside, he finds this creepy as hell robot and breaks it, which is probably for the best. So a guard attacks him and Daniel punches through him and finds out that they're robots also, and gets held captive overnight. On Halloween morning, Cochran takes Daniel to the factory's basement, where they have the missing piece of Stonehenge from earlier. How did they get this?
We had a time getting it here.
That's not an explanation. Whatever, they're using the powers I guess it has on the mask tags for something. Ellie's locked in a cell, by the way. And the tour family goes into this windowless room in the basement for a demonstration of what the masks do. These people must be really dumb to not find anything suspicious about this. Then this annoying ass ad comes on, but this time the seizure pumpkin from the beginning comes on. Then the kid's mask starts melting and oh shit. I really don't think kids should be wearing these masks. Then the mom faints or dies and the dad gets bit by a rattlesnake. So, they're all dead. At least they don't have to listen to this annoying song anymore. Then it shows kids from all over the country getting ready for the big giveaway at 9. And wearing those stupid shamrock masks. But if this is a national thing, how are they gonna do that? Since the point is to kill kids, they would have to do the whole country at once, and since they're meeting 9 Western time, that puts it at midnight on the East Coast. And this Halloween is on a Sunday. There's no way most parents are gonna let their kids stay up that late on a school night. But anyway, forensics lady notices the machine parts don't look like car parts, and one of Cochrane's robots finds her, somehow knows exactly where this drill is, and uses it to kill her. Back at the factory, Cochrane has Daniel tied up.
Why, Cochran? I do love a good joke, and this is the best ever. A joke on the children.
That's not a joke, you freaking psycho. But it's really about a sacrifice or something. But wouldn't that make him a warlock, not a witch? Whatever, Cochrane leaves him there to die. But Daniel kicks through the TV screen. No, and escapes. He finds a telephone and calls his ex-wife instead of 911, and this dumb broad just yells at him about God knows what instead of even trying to listen to what he's saying and then hangs up on him. So he finds and rescues Ellie. Well, they just sneak past the guards and Daniel starts the Shamrock giveaway commercial, although I have no idea how he knows what buttons to push and in what order. Then they take a box of max tags and dump the activated tags onto the robots and equipment, which I guess causes them to short circuit somehow. And since this movie hates its audience, the annoying song plays the entire time. Then the TVs and Stonehenge Rock shoot a beam at Cochrane and kill him, because screw it, why not? Daniel and Ellie got away, but Ellie is acting strange, and oh. Turns out Ellie was switched with the robot and causes a crash. Then there's this 3-minute scene of Daniel getting attacked by various parts of robot Ellie's body as he fights her off. It's so weird and goes on for so long. Wait a minute, if Ellie was a robot ever since she was kidnapped, why the hell didn't she stop Daniel when he snuck past the guards, stole one of the mask tags, messed up the control panel, stole an entire box of mask tags, dumped them onto the robots and equipment, escaped the factory, or drove away? Anyway, Daniel is at the gas station and on the phone with the TV station, trying to get them to take the annoying ad off the air. Which the person does, but this kid just keeps changing channels to another one that has the ad on, and it ends with the seizure pumpkin and Daniel yelling to stop it. This movie is an interesting concept, and is what John Carpenter originally wanted to do with the Halloween series, where Michael Myers was only going to be in the first one with a different story set on Halloween for each movie. But Universal made him use Michael Myers in the sequel, so people expected him in this one, which hurt the success when they found out that he wasn't. I do like the creativity of the concept of the warlock using a Halloween mask for malicious purposes, but there are parts of this that just don't make any sense. Like how he plans to activate the mask at 9 PM Western time, when this movie takes place in California, which is the last state to have 9 PM. And he can't have it at 9 in each time zone, because they would shut the ad down after a bunch of kids died on the East Coast. This movie should have taken place on the East Coast, that way it would have been 9 PM Eastern time, which would make it 6 o'clock Western time. That way, he's not hoping parents on the East Coast are going to let their kids stay up past midnight on a school night for some giveaway. I also don't like how Cochrane never explains how he managed to steal a piece of Stonehenge. Just saying we had a time getting it here isn't an explanation. Even saying it was magic or something is better than nothing. It just seems like lazy writing. It is pretty funny though how much Robot Ellie let Daniel get away with before even trying to stop him. Which makes me wonder what happened to the real Ellie. I'm gonna guess she was either killed by Cochrane's robot goons or died in the factory fire. The acting in this is pretty bad. Tom Atkins is alright as Daniel Chalice. He's pretty good at when it comes to having a regular conversation with other characters, but he just comes off as cheesy when he's doing the horror scenes, and he is not believable at all when he's reacting to things that Cochrane does. Stacey is not good as Ellie Grimbridge. Her entire performance is flat, and it sounds like she's mostly reading her lines rather than acting. Honestly, her performance is best as Robot Ellie. Donald Hurley is the best actor in this as Connell Cochran. His line delivery actually has inflection in it, and he's really good at being creepy. The visual effects are fairly decent. Some of it looks fake, like the homeless guy getting his head ripped off, but the CGI of the beams coming out of the computer chips and the Stonehenge rock look pretty good, considering this movie came out in 1982. The practical effects, like the prosthetics of Linda's face damage, looks gross but good, and the effect of the pumpkin mask melting looks pretty cool. Oh, in case you were wondering if Daniel succeeded in stopping the Silver Shamrock ad, according to the novel written by this, no, he didn't. Don't forget to do the YouTube stuff, and thanks for watching.